What's good, people? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, please do subscribe down below, smash a like, hit the bell. Those things help out a lot. YouTube does notify people when we upload, so just make sure you hit that bell. Anyway guys, today we got a dope episode for you because it's all about laced flowers. Yep, laced flowers is actually something you need to look out for, because just like you can get laced other stuff, you can also have laced flowers. So we're going to give you a few things that you need to look out for so that you avoid any of that, because we all know when you purchase your flowers, you generally trust the supplier and you enjoy it at your leisure, but there may be a chance that you may not be getting pure flowers. Some vendors, whether intentionally or unintentionally, may mix their substances with other substances before selling. Now flowers, you don't want substances in there. A lot of the times you don't want that stuff, and no, it doesn't happen with every supplier. In fact, it's a very small percentage of suppliers that do this, but you still want to make sure that you're doing the right stuff and you're getting the right stuff. So in today's episode, we're going to show you how to identify laced flower and how you can avoid that shit, because that shit is intense, man. Now before we get into that, guys, just want to shout out to everyone that's supporting on Patreon. We got a bunch of free stuff going out to all patrons, especially you VIPs. You VIPs get the best perks, man. So huge shout out to everyone that's supporting on there, and if you want, join the movement, man. Join the fam, join the ICANN fam, and if you are part of the ICANN fam, just drop it in the comments, hashtag ICANN fam. Oh yeah guys, and Mars Hydro's got an amazing Black Friday sale going on right now. It's going on for the whole month, and I know a lot of people have snagged some serious savings with the ICANN THC discount code on top of the Black Friday sales. Yep, you heard that right. Double discounts, man. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. And without further ado, guys, let's get into today's episode. Yes guys, now laced weed is pretty much where the supplier or the grower has laced the flowers with other substances or drugs or anything that's not good for you. Those things can actually alter the flower's flavor profile, effects, quality, all that stuff. And while lacing is a common practice with a lot of hard substances, there's no different with our favorite plant. Almost every single year, there are reports with canna users facing health problems after consuming flowers they thought were pure, but in reality it's actually laced with other substances. Now this practice may earn the supplier some extra cash, but it can have some serious health consequences on us users. You can have a bad trip, hallucinations, and a lot more. There are a lot of reasons why people do it, and there are a lot of reasons why you need to look out for it. So in today's episode, we're going to show you what you need to look out for. But before we do that, why do people do this in the first place? Well, since flowers are usually sold by weight, suppliers lace them with other products to bulk up their package and gain more profits by selling lower amounts of the actual flower. More weight of other stuff added into the flower equals more profits for you, but less flower you actually got to put out. Makes sense, right? That's not good. Now some suppliers that sell low quality flower also use other substances to try to make it more potent and make the product seem more high quality, which is also not good. It's like polishing a piece of shit and trying to make it look like a trophy or something. It's still a piece of shit, right? Now some dealers also lace flowers with laundry detergent or glass shards to make the flowers seem more terpene rich, or even add a little bit of an aroma to them. And on the darker side of things, some dealers even lace the flowers with additive drugs so that users get hooked on their products and keep buying more and more. So these are all scary things to think about, but definitely things that you just need to be aware of. That's why I always say grow your own, man. When you grow your own, you know what's in there. You got your homegrown, you know exactly what you're putting in there, what you're feeding the plant. You're not too worried about bag appeal or weight and all that stuff, so you're not going to add any other substances to bulk up that weight, because it's all for you anyway, right? So like I said, that does not mean that flowers are always dangerous. The practice of lacing flowers is actually pretty rare. Even in regions where flowers have been legalized, this practice still exists, especially if there's a lack of specific regulations regarding the flowers. I mentioned glass shards, guys. One of the most common forms of lacing flowers is using tiny glass shards. Some people may add that to the flower that they're trying to sell to make it look like it's richer in crystals, and while that strategy may work, the glass shards can cause serious respiratory disorders and long-term damage to your throat, man. Other people actually throw some laundry detergent in there. Now no doubt your laundry detergent smells good, and since people also want their flowers to smell good, some people throw that in there, and that improves the aroma profile. It also adds a little bit of crystal-like substances in there that may make you think that those are trichomes that fell off, but they're actually not. It's laundry detergent that fell off into your bag, which is not good. Now, lead and heavy metals is also something that you just need to be aware of. Depending on how you grow it, a lot of people actually do testing for leads and heavy metals, and that's something that's seriously regulated, especially if you're growing in organics. Now, there are a lot of dangers of consuming laced flowers. I mentioned bad trips. You can also have breathing and heart problems. It can cause aggression if you got some other hard drugs that are put in there, and an overdose can actually cause death. If it's mixed with substances like fentanyl, meth, heroin, any of that stuff, that can cause straight up death, guys. Now, all that said, how can I tell if the flower is laced? What are the signs of the laced flower? Well, it's quite difficult to actually check if the flowers are laced. Flowers often come in a variety of strains, each of which has its distinct aroma, flavor, appearance, smell, terpene profile, all that good stuff. But there are a few techniques that I usually use that you can use to check out your flowers before buying them. That can give you a little bit of an idea whether you're being played or not. Now, first off, the nose never lies. The smell test. If in doubt, always follow your nose. The big homie Gandalf said that, man. And he's right. Your nose can help you solve many problems. So the first thing you should do is take a whiff of the buds itself. Take a whiff of the flowers, man. It should smell like, well, flowers. If it smells like anything else, chemicals, nail polish remover, gasoline, unless it's the good type of gas, then it may be laced, man. For example, if you smell molten plastic in the flower, that may be a sign that it's laced with DMT. For me, I try to avoid any flowers that do not have a nice aroma. And if the aroma is too nice, then you also may need to just be a little suspect about that. But if everything looks good and it checks out, then maybe it's just a really strong terpene profile. What I also like to do is just look at it carefully, man. The eyes also never lie. Literally just look for white or blue crystals on your flowers. Remember, many strains have a lot of brown crystals, but white and blue can be a sign of laced flowers. Now, some people may say, Matt, the trichomes also look like crystals, and that's where the texture comes in. You can also roll and squeeze a tiny part of the flowers between your fingers. The white to amber trichomes should break apart into a sticky powder, but if they don't, then your flower may be laced with glass shards or laundry detergent. Regardless of the strain, guys, flowers should be sticky, but if they're grainy, you may need to just tread carefully. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. Now, texture also comes in handy with the CD test. The CD test is an old test where you can check for flower purity by rubbing the flowers on a CD. Pure flowers should not scratch the CD surface at all, but if you notice any scratches on the CD, the flower may be laced with glass shards or other substances. Now, I mentioned laundry detergent a few times on this episode. If you suspect the crystals on your buds on resin but they're actually laundry detergent, you can use a simple test to check. Just take a small piece of the bud, put it in an airtight container, and put some water in there and shake it up vigorously. If you see any soap sud, if you see any of those soapy bubbles in there, then you definitely got some soap in there, man. And last but not least, you can always give it a smoke test. The good old token try. If you've already purchased the flower, then definitely watch out for the taste. Laced flower will taste harsh, and it may have a chemical or metallic flavor. The metallic flavor is usually an indication of pesticide lacing, which will result in proper growing practices, but on the other hand, a chemical flavor is due to the presence of synthetic drugs. Another sign of laced flower is if it pops and sparks when you're actually just lighting it. That's usually a sign of something going on in there that's not right and affecting the combustion. And speaking of combustion, you can always look at the flame. You can literally just check the flame's color when you light your joint. If it appears weird, your flower may be laced with other chemicals like smell enhancers. So these are all a few different things that you can do to test your flowers to see if they've been tampered with. If you ever suspect your flower's been tampered with, the best bet is to toss that bud, find a new supplier, because it's better to lose a few bucks than to risk your health, man. So all that said, our love for flowers does have us purchasing, and sometimes you just gotta purchase. Even if you're growing, you may run out, you may have to purchase, but you always gotta be aware. Don't let a couple bad eggs give a bad rep to the majority by lacing the flower with bad stuff. Nowadays, laced flower is a lot rarer of a thing. It does not happen as frequently, but it can still happen. So I hope you guys just take this information with a grain of salt, because like I said, this does not happen all the time. And if you really think about it, it may be a little bit more expensive for a dealer to spike your flowers with fentanyl, heroin, or anything hard, just because that's more expensive. But if the primary purpose is to get their users hooked into addiction and keep them coming back so they have that stream coming in, then you may have a little bit of a problem. But this video is not meant to scare anyone, but more to help you guys make informed purchases, man. So I just wanted to drop that information for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash the like button and let me know if you've ever encountered anything that was laced. I know I've come across sprayed flower that just refused to light. It looked super hard, but I couldn't even get the shit to light. I couldn't even put it in a bong and light. It did not light at all. So that shit can happen, but you need to stay away from it and don't toke it, man, because a lot of the times it can affect your health. And I'm always here to look out for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Smash the like button, hit the bell, and don't forget, join up with the iCan fam if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay high and stay fly. Peace.